gotta stop making driving videos. It's dangerous. I'm gonna get a ticket, man. Sorry about that. Low tech here. Governor Snyder, the guy on the flag. The governor of Michigan. And we have Mayor Bing, the mayor of Detroit. The purpose of this video really is a quick history lesson. Back in the days of the Civil War, this goes back to the Civil War, 1860 something, I'm not going to go into it. The Battle of Poplar Bluff. I believe it was a small town in Kentucky, a bluff of course, that overlooked it was the high ground. A black commander who had graduated from West Point was commissioned to hold this ground by Ulysses S. Grant himself at all cost. Needless to say, as fate would have it, the Confederates were also massing at the same spot, and they wanted the high ground, number one, and plus they weren't too happy that a black battalion commanded by a black commander was on Confederate soil in Kentucky, just right across the river, I believe Ohio River from Illinois, but Illinois was a free state. The commander of the black battalion held this ground after 3 onslaughts of this Confederate charges. This man was a cavalry, so he himself at great peril led the cavalry charges during and after the attacks. Back in those days, you had to, it was good if you repelled the attack, you came out with a counterattack of your own, so they couldn't organize their own counterattack. That's what he was doing. After like 4 days of attacks, the very last day, the very last morning, they didn't know it was the last day, but the commander of the Black Brigade, Black Battalion, was in front, riding his gallant steed in front of the lines of the men holding the lines. And the famous words were, haven't had sleep, we are low on provisions, and we are low on ammunition, and we don't expect any help. Men, I beg you, as he was riding up and down the lines, front lines of his men, no sleep for like 4 days. As a matter of fact, he was on his horse so often during that battle, he never got off his horse. He was always leading charges, counteroffensives, inspiring the men on his horse. They called him, the men fondly said he must have balls of leather, and they called him Old Iron Balls. The colonel, whose name was Jefferson Washington Bing, Old Leather Balls, Colonel Leather Balls, was riding up and down in front of the men, inspiring the men. And he says, we must ration our provisions. and stay alert. But most of all, we have to make every shot count. So I beg you men, do not fire until you see the whites. The rest is history. The commander of the Confederate forces didn't break through the lines, and he was humiliated and disgraced and sent packing back to North Carolina, where it is rumored he went back to his homeland of Germany. He was so humiliated in the South as a commander. His name was no other than Washington Davis Snyder. Yep, General Washington Davis Snyder. And you'd think that this was ironic enough, or just too much of a coincidence, right? For these men to be facing each other again. Look at this. But in World War II, another battle, Italy, 1944. The Battle of Tripoli, not Tripoli, one of those towns in there in Italy. The Battle of Monte Cristo. It's near there. Another black commander, West Point grad, faced off against the onslaught of another Nazi Germany commander, tank commander. And once again, the Americans prevailed. No ground was given up, and the Germans were defeated. The commander of the Black Battalion, once again, told to hold the ground without any reinforcements or provisions coming in ever, because they're black probably, who knows. Colonel George W. Bing. And, this is really crazy, the commander of the tank brigade that attacked relentlessly the Black Battalion and did not prevail and was defeated and annihilated, as a matter of fact. No other than von Helmut Snyder. Yep. So there's more animosity here than just today, what's going on in Detroit. This is history. This is blood that has been the opposite sides for a long time. So it's going to be interesting to see how this actually works out. I just hope it works out for the best. And I didn't mean to at all be disrespectful to any race or people, okay, in this video. Thank you. Duck out.